Hello, Central. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tuesday episode of The Den. Welcome back. Good morning, South Anchorage High School and all those around. We have a busy schedule today. We got a couple of guests. We got the hard hitters. We're going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite people in the state later on. It's going to be pretty awesome. And welcome. It is Tuesday, May 12th. You were like a week and a half away from being done with high school for the summer. And then when you're done, you won't have to go to school every day and get your books out of your locker and go to the gym. Well, it's going to be different, I promise. And so make sure you're getting your work done and getting ready for a fun summer of, whatever you have planned. We're going to get over to the crew today. We have lots of fun headed to you. Please welcome to the show. We have Mr. Pernich, who's taking care of the chat and monitoring things there. We have Clara, who's rocking and socking the questions from southvote.com. So if you have questions for any of our guests today, remember, you can put them in the chat or at southvote.com. We also have Dr. Allman, who's joining us, and he's going to give us a rundown on what's happened. Looks like he's in his office, so that's good news. We have Bria, the everlasting. Bria's heading it up and hanging out, and she's going to give us her perspective on everything and anything that she wants to. We also have Coach Harmon with us, who's going to give us some rundown on some football. It's hanging out. And then we have John joining us again from the libraries, give us some more information of some of the assets that we have for us this year. So, as usual, we are going to skip right over to Dr. Allman. Say, hey, Dr. Allman, welcome to the show. Give us a rundown on what's happening in your world.
Good morning, everyone. As Mr. Butterfield alluded to, only 8 days of school left, so just trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel next Thursday. Encourage everyone to make sure you are still logging into your courses if you have assignments left to do and completing those. So that you can give yourself the benefit of the doubt of getting the highest grade possible. If you have been logging in routinely and engaging with the content and getting things done, and even checking in with your teachers during your Zoom sessions, you should have the opportunity to get the highest grade between your third quarter grade or your semester 2 grade, so that we can, as I said before, give you the benefit of the doubt. The biggest next event is the graduation box pickup, which will occur between May 18th, next Monday, and May 21st, next Thursday. So we're doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for folks who need a little bit later slot. Right now, we have 240 appointments booked, and we have 261 graduates. So we need the 21 folks out there who may not have made an appointment yet to do so. And if that doesn't happen in the next couple of days, then we'll begin reaching out to those individuals or those graduates who have not made an appointment. We also realize there may be some folks out there who are out of state, won't even physically be able to come here, or we have a handful of seniors who are already working 10 to 12 hour days every day. So we understand that. If that describes you, you can reach out to us and we'll try to make an alternative plan for you to get your grad box and all of the things that come with it. It is all staged, mostly staged and ready to go in the library right now. So we're just going to make staffing plans so that we'll be here to receive you. And each 15-minute slot, we can put 3 different graduates in. And so we'll have a station up front to hand those boxes off, and then a photo booth type situation down by the E-Hall entrance and exit, and we'll roll on from there. So the last day for grad box pickup will actually also be the last day of school.
Fantastic. Clara, I think you got some questions. If you want to pop those into here, we can get rocking along.
Yeah. So about grad boxes, you've mentioned that diploma covers are included in there. Are diplomas also in the boxes?
Diplomas will not be in the boxes. Those are going to be mailed after we get through the end of the school year, just because the credit check and those things need to be done by our registrar to make sure that you have, in fact, graduated from high school. When you receive that diploma in the mail, you'll know that that you have. So diploma cover will be in there. Graduation programs will be in there, 2 copies in each box. There'll also be a 2020 grad keychain in there. If you're receiving honor cords or cords from other programs, they will be in there so that you can unbox them quickly. for the photo opportunity. Then we will also have each graduate is getting a mug that's been provided by Kaladi Brothers. There's a sticker in there that is specific to kind of Kaladi's message to all graduates. You'll be getting your yard sign then, and we also are anticipating some items that you would normally receive at Senior Fun Day from our PTSO. So all of those items will be transferred to you during that appointment time, but no diploma in the box.
And just as a heads up, folks, if you've never graduated before, that's normal. When you walk across that stage, it's an empty cover, and then you get it in the mail. Remember, the cover and the robe and the hat and all that stuff, that's the pomp. That's the circumstance. That's the big fun thing wrapped around it. Then in the mail, you get the important stuff. It's kind of how it works. Welcome to graduation. Clara.
Yeah, so there's a few more. It says, what are the options for summer classes to get ahead? So I'm not sure if that's like summer high school or if that's the extension of the quarter.
Right. So there's two things. I'll try to speak directly to the question first. So the get ahead option is going to be iSchool. That will run through June and part of July. And it is going to be free of charge to all students. So whether you are taking a course to get ahead or you are taking a course for a grade replacement because you want to raise your grade from a previous class you've taken, you can do both of those things on iSchool over the summer. You can contact your counselor about options for getting signed up for that. And then the summer extension is different. That's still going to be on campus and look a lot like what you're doing right now. That's purely for students who did not get their credit and need to do the work to close the gap between that and getting their credit. So at least minimum AD, but they could earn as high as an A. And that will be a continuation of the course that you have already been taking, or that prospective student's already been taking during fourth quarter and I guess third quarter for that matter, so that you can get that credit recovered.
Okay. Is there a way to go back and look at third quarter grades in Q right now?
I would have to rely on you all because I don't see the student view when you check your grades in Q. I assume that there's a third quarter mark in there that should show you your letter grade.
Okay.
It's in marks, folks. Just for you folks out there wondering, go into marks and you should see your cum. You should see what you got third quarter.
Okay, so there's just one more question. I think we've answered it, but I don't if you have any updated information about seniors dropping off grad announcements to teachers. Can they do that when they pick up graduation boxes?
Yes. So we'll have a handful of staff that are going to be staged in the library and then also curbside so that we can make sure to get all of the items to graduates. And so between that staff that'll be at the front entrance, just make sure that obviously the card is labeled with the appropriate teacher and we'll make sure they get it. A handful of teachers will more than likely be here to volunteer to kind of help that grad box pickup process. And so we should be able to get it to them pretty easily. And if not, we'll get it to them next fall.
Fantastic. Thank you, Clara. That seemed like that was it. Mr. Pernage, you got anything? No? What's that?
Yep, I just rechecked.
Awesome. Mr. Pernage, do you have anything in the chat for Dr. Allman?
Nope, chat is all clear.
All right, moving over to Coach. Coach Harmon, let us know. How are you doing? How is the football? And what are you guys up to?
Football is good. We are preparing to make a run at defending our 2019 state championship title. So we are well underway with virtual workouts and kind of waiting the city to take a breath and see if we can get back to full workouts all together with the kids.
That's fantastic. And so are you guys using, what format are you guys using to work out together? Is it like you guys getting on Madden and say do what he does, or is it like a YouTube piece, or how's that going?
A little bit of both. So we just finished up, I think we're going into the finals of our 2020 Madden championship. So we do mix a lot of fun with our hard work. But we also use a tool called True Coach. It's a virtual training tool used for trainers. It allows us to offer video demonstrations to the kids, communicate with them, receive feedback, and make sure that we're kind of properly guiding them towards our nutrition and fitness targets for the year. So for us, the calendar's still the calendar. We're still marching towards, showing up on shape. We're optimistic about having a season, so we want to be prepared.
Sure. That's pretty fantastic. That's pretty cool. To think high school football has come a long way since I got kicked off the team. So it's pretty fantastic that these guys are dedicating, there's no one there, cracking that whip, and they're dedicating themselves to get up and do this. I'm sure you're on like 2-a-days by now, and maybe even 3-a-days. Heck, just don't even sleep. Just work out the whole time. And I bet you got some kids there that are really rocking it. So you guys, like every year, it's like this famous thing. You guys you get a bunch of people together. They get big pieces of steel, and they go out there and they hit little balls all along the grass. But that didn't get to happen this year. So I hear you guys got a backup.
We do. Our boosters, being the ever creative team that they are, came up with a COVID-19 fundraiser that is focused on selling South logoed masks. And we also have 2 versions of our steel etched tumblers. We have, I think, a 20 and a 30 ounce. And that can all be found available on the site that we'll publish here at the end of the broadcast.
So you're telling me, and I may have heard this wrong, but I got to ask, did you say South logoed masks?
South logoed masks to make sure that we're safe and we're adherent to any kind of municipal or state regulations around face coverings. Well, we got you covered, and you can still rep your school. That's fantastic. And I just got to tell you guys out there, even if we don't have to go to games with masks on, we should go to games with masks on, because that'd be, I know the whole whiteout thing and like all that stuff, but everybody showing up without any like identifiable facial features at a game be kind of intimidating, be kind of fun. So bringing it back, everyone, Mr. Pernage is going to throw that link right into the chat. So if you're watching, make sure you get it in there. We'll get it into the description as well. Remember, you're going to have to copy and paste that into a URL. If you don't know how to do that, drop a line to Mr. Pernage. He'll walk you through a step-by-step process on how to do that. That's fantastic. Did you have anything else you wanted to tell fans, teammates, players, teachers before we move on to our next guest today? The biggest thing I want to say is make sure you're taking care of your academics. We are student athletes first. I put a high emphasis on that. Dr. Allman wants us to defend our academic award that we also earned last year. So I've committed to him that we do so. And that starts in the classroom. So we're still in school, finish up strong, and go Wolverines. It's fantastic. Go Wolverines. That's great. And you just brought up another question. So you guys are doing these virtual workouts. I'm curious, do you guys find that because you already have that team cohesion, that some of this academic stuff that do you see people supporting each other from this kind of distance academia through the team? We really do. Yeah. This particular group of kids, throughout the program, as well as our inbound ninth graders, very close-knit, strong sense of self. They are friends outside of football and the program itself. So we really emphasize making sure that we support one another, especially during this time. And they've been phenomenal reaching out, making sure that we find the best structure that we can outside of the normal structure. Mm-hmm. And the smart kids have been helping the kids that have been struggling. The kids who love working out have been helping those who maybe don't gravitate towards the gym or the weight room, and me and you both. So it's been a circle of help, and I'm really proud of all the kids. That's fantastic. Anything in the South Vote questions for the coach there, Clara? Just shake your head if it's no. Okay, cool. And in the chat, Mr. Pernage, no. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. Stick around, please. We love it when people hang out. We'll move straight down the totem in the center to John. Welcome back, John. Good to see you. How are things in virtual library world?
Things are busy. We are just as you guys are probably expecting, we're sliding right in the summer. We're trying to keep up the same momentum we normally do, but for obvious reasons, things are going to be different. But I'm mostly here to talk to you guys about our summer reading program. If you guys are familiar, every summer we do our summer discovery program. Because of obvious reasons, we're not doing it the same exact format. We're taking it virtual this year. So what we're doing is we've jumped onto the bandwagon with the state library, which has purchased a statewide membership to Beanstacks. There we go. I always pronounce it wrong. Beanstacks. And through Beanstacks is how you're going to be if you want to participate in summer reading, which I highly encourage because it's a good way to fight the summer slide. It's something to do. It's fun. It's also it's a way to interact and get involved in the library over the summer. But if you're gonna do it, you can log on and sign up, register, log on through the Anchorage Public Library website. There is a link on right on the landing page. Click on that, make yourself an account. It's really simple and easy. If you ever made an account anywhere online, then it's the same basic format. Some specific things about it is, so you're tracking 10 hours of reading over the summer. If you want to do a paper version, we do have that available on the website as well. You can just print that out and track your reading that way and turn that in. I personally highly encourage doing the virtual version just because it's easier, it's faster, it's easier to check, and it saves paper. But through Beanstacks, you can track your minutes up to 10 hours. You can post reviews. You can communicate with other people who are reading. It's really a social kind of online experience, which is something different this year as well. So along the 10 hours of reading, we're also going to require like a certain amount of activities just to keep you guys active, because we love to promote, getting out, being active, and learning that isn't strictly just reading, because anything you're doing really is learning, including like trying a new recipe, singing a song, playing a board game. All that stuff is learning, and we're big on learning, not specifically just reading. So we're doing all that. I highly encourage popping onto the Anchorage Public Library and setting up your accounts. It's live right now, so if you want to do it right after this, or even while I'm talking, please feel free to do that. It's all set up. It's very gamified. It's all set up through badges. So as you add more minutes to your log, you earn different badges along the way. And as you do different activities that we've actually personalized and set up, then you also get more badges. So it's just a fun way to track your reading throughout the summer and continue your summer reading program if you've done it before. If you're doing it for the first time, another big change is prizes are going to be different this year. Normally we do give out prizes and do prize drawings. We are continuing to do that, but we aren't quite sure what the prizes are going to look like. We normally hand out, for anyone who completes, we let them grab a book, and for obvious reasons, we can't do that again this year. But we are working out solutions to that problem. So there will be prize drawings. There will be some free stuff getting handed out when you complete. We just haven't quite hammered out those details yet. So that's one of the big things I wanted to talk to you about.
So speaking of free stuff, right? Because everyone loves
free
free stuff. And we're also in the era, Dr. Allman can let you know because he's got like 600 of them sitting in his office right now. We're also in the era of the yard sign, right? This is how we're going to make our personalities shine. What are we a part of? What are we included in? Are you guys, now this is the same program that used to be when you read the whole list of books that was required. You'd get that cool yard sign or window sign and you'd pop it in the yard. It says, "We have a municipal library reader here," right? Is that still happening?
No, I have no idea what that is, but that sounds awesome. And I'm gonna pass it along because I think that's a great way to show up and show out and represent for Anchorage Public Library and show that you are a reader and that a reader lives at your location. So I'm going to pass that along.
And we could have your face there. We could have the reading rainbow going past your head, and you could just be like, "I am a solid reader," right?
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic. Yard signs everywhere. Everyone should have at least 8 of them now.
Of course, yeah.
And so in the past, there's been different versions of the kind of reading competitions in town where there was like the specific books that needed to be read and different age groups. So like my 3rd grader would go in, they'd say like, "Read these books. That's how you get your prize." Is it going to be set up that same way, or is it more of a choice-based reading?
Oh, it's totally loosey-goosey. It's all self-reporting. It's all self-recording. We trust you. We figure if you can put on pants and button a shirt or start your day, drink cup of coffee. If you can log onto this, we trust that you can log your reading. The way we set it up is that you read whatever you want, and for us, we also count audiobooks. We count. I personally audiobooks, graphic novels. It's all reading. I've even told people, hey, if you're watching anime or anything that's foreign with subtitles, that counts as reading as well. That's personally how I got really fast at reading, was trying to keep up with what was going on the screen. So all reading counts. We don't have a restricted list. I think the only thing that's restricted is the number of activities that we require per age group. Our summer reading challenge, summer reading program is zero to death, birth to grave, so anyone can enter. Teachers, staff, faculty, family. It's for everyone. So I think for teenagers, we require like 5 activity badges for it to be completed, and for like younger kids, it's like 3 to 4, kind of stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's pretty much just read what you want. We're big on people being able to read whatever they want. We're not going to restrict you.
Cool. So as we walk away from this, first, Clara, anything at South Vote?
You keep telling me to check, and I have to go. And 1 sec.
It's your job, Clara.
Yeah, well,
It's your job. I look at
there
it.
are no questions.
Okay, and in the chat, do we have anything in the chat there? All right, fantastic. So a couple things before we leave. Yard signs. Push the yard signs. I want a yard sign that said, I participated. I want your face on it. I want a rainbow. I want a star. I want to say more you know. I want it. Yes. Yes.
Wait, my face specifically?
Specifically, you are the face of the public library through the Den. I mean, let's be really honest here. When people think about the summer reading program, they're thinking you. That's how it goes. And so thank you very much. We dig it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the exciting stuff that's happening down there. We think it's great that you guys are putting the time in to make this kind of stuff available. My kids are going to be stoked. And I love the idea that we're creating a social media site based around reading and learning and things like that, and I'm excited to see where it goes. It's pretty fantastic. Well, thank you all for joining us, and thank you at home for joining us for another fantastic episode of The Den. It is our pleasure to bring this to you each and every week, 2 days a week. Just remember, next week's our last week, so tell your friends, come hang out and see us and get those questions in, because I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of questions on Friday after school ends that you should probably ask now. So get that taken care of. Before we leave, I do want to say opened up today a little bit differently than normal. That was kind of our ode, the crew. Some of you may not know or care, and that's okay, but we're going to use this platform because that's what selfishness is. The crew and I have been going to Nome every year since 2014, 2015, to support the Iron Dog. And since we've been doing that, there is a gentleman up there that we have always met and loved and is a wonderful human being. Mayor Richard has passed away over the weekend. Mayor Benneville was a phenomenal human being who could make an entire room brighten up when he walked in. And one of the, I've met a lot of politicians in my life because for some reason politicians like dwarfs. And I got to tell you, very few of them have I met that I really, truly trusted, loved their city and their people as much as Mayor Richard loved his Nomies. So we want to say Godspeed to you there, Mayor, and hello, Central. We'll never leave any of us, and you're an epic human being. So everybody out there at South Anchorage High School and beyond, keep your paws clean, your claws sharp, Wolverines.